So we're taking a look here at another Smith Wesson firearm. This is the Smith Wesson Model 22A, the first handgun that I ever bought. So as the name implies, it fires the 22 long rifle cartridge. 22 long rifle has a negligible amount of recoil, almost like firing an air gun if anything. So what kind of gun is the 22A? Where does this gun fit in? Now I'm not quite sure myself. What is this gun for? Smith & Wesson kind of markets this gun as a prosumer type competition gun, and I could kind of see that. It's not quite a Browning Buck Mark or a Ruger Mark III. For what it is, it's very accurate actually. If you're starting out competition shooting, you might want to consider something like this. Price very affordable, about $329, $289, around that area. As we all know, 22 cartridges, very, very cheap. Manual of arms, very simple. So you have your slide here. You got your slide stop. You do have a safety here. They also have magazine release right here. And what's nice about this gun also actually is, some might not see it this way, but it's got a pretty heavy barrel. Having that heavy barrel is going to help with your accuracy, help you stay on target a little bit more. So features of this gun: an adjustable sight back here. It's adjustable for windage and elevation. Front sight here fixed across the top of the entire gun. You got a Picatinny style rail. As you can see here, I have a nice cheap red dot here. This gun comes with 2 magazines, and they hold 10 rounds each. And they have nice springs here, so it's fairly easy to load. One of the odd things about this gun, I kind of like it actually, but some people don't. On a typical handgun, your magazine release is going to be like right here, or it's going to be a notch down here that you're going to press down. Smith & Wesson kind of did an ambidextrous one, so it's actually right here. So you just hit that. So this is a California model gun, so it's got the safety for the trigger. So when there's no magazine in here, you can't shoot the gun. If there is, you can shoot the gun obviously. I'm not going to dry fire it because it's rimfire. You never want to dry fire a rimfire gun. So being my first gun, I wanted something that was pretty easy to work on. And that's one of the reasons why I did not go with the Ruger Mark series or the Browning Buck Mark. From what I saw on the internet, disassembly, reassembly, and maintenance on those guns, especially the Ruger, very, very difficult. This gun, very, very simple. It's almost like working on a, say working on a Mercedes versus a Chevy. So here on this gun, to take it down, all you gotta do is lock your slide back, press this button here, and that's it. And then you can release your slide, take this thing off, then you're ready to get back to work. Then when you want to put it back together, you gotta do is match your pieces up, which I did not do there. You gotta match your pieces up, make sure that button slides forward. There we go. Release. You're good to go. Very simple gun to maintain. For the most part, I found this gun to be very reliable. Even when it's dirty. I've gone months on end without cleaning this thing. It runs fine for the most part, up until it really starts to get dry. Then it really starts to slow down the action. Then you gotta clean it, but for the most part, if you need to clean it, it's gonna be very easy to clean it. Let's talk about, I don't know what you call it. Street cred? But this gun doesn't have much street cred, I guess. No one goes into a gun shop and saying, "Hey, do you got the Smith & Wesson Model 22A?" Actually, when I first bought this gun, I went into a gun shop and asked them, "Hey, do you got the Smith & Wesson Model 22A?" A couple of shops actually looked at me and said, "The what?" They never actually heard of the gun. I eventually bought this gun over at the Gun Room in Elk Grove, California. And ever since then, been shooting it. I haven't shot it that much lately just because I've kind of moved beyond 22 long rifle. But it's still a fun gun to shoot. Probably more enjoyable outdoor shooting. That's probably why I don't shoot it as much, just because I don't have time to get out to BLM land. This is still one of my favorite guns ever. I would never want to get rid of it. While I don't shoot it as much anymore, it's still one of my favorite guns. It's the original gun, right? So it's always going to have a special place, even though I don't shoot it as much anymore. If there's any complaint that I really have about this gun, it's not super comfortable. It doesn't fit my hand the way my Smith & Wesson M&P guns do. It just doesn't feel natural. Now Smith & Wesson does actually sell a rubberized grip on this with, I believe, what do you call it? Indents for your fingers here. I've been tempted to try that, but I haven't done so yet, because this is just hard plastic. It's like a dashboard panel from an old GM vehicle, I guess. But it shoots fairly well. No, it shoots very well. It's a Smith & Wesson product. And you can see here, It was made in Hilton, Maine. This gun is American made, not imported or anything. So, I've only been part of gun culture for a couple of years now. I didn't have the opportunity to grow up in a gun-friendly society, I guess. It definitely wasn't anti-gun. School life, high school life, whatever. Never really had the opportunity to give gun culture a fair try. I'm glad that I picked this gun, and I'm glad that I picked Smith and Wesson. You got other brands out there. You got Ruger, you got Glock, you got Sig. There's just something quintessentially American about Smith and Wesson. I don't shoot it that much anymore, but it's always gonna have a special place. In my gun cabinet, gun safe, whatever. This is my first gun. It was the gun that really introduced me to the world of guns, to the world of shooting, to the lifestyle of shooting, and to the Second Amendment as a right. We take a lot of our rights here in this country for granted. Right now, Second Amendment's been under attack by everyone. It's something that we can't let them take away. People keep saying that they're not going for your guns, they don't want to ban your guns, they just want to get rid of bad guns. Yeah, well, who gets to decide what a bad gun is? Because in the eyes of the Brady campaign, in the eyes of Michael Bloomberg, all guns are bad guns. So that was just a quick overview, nothing too in-depth. I can't imagine that there's any other gun that I would have done better with. So Smith & Wesson 22A, thank you. You created a gun owner for life. All this stuff, clean the gun, put it back. Reassembly is just as simple.